Hey, and welcome back to another video. Yeah, back again in the chair, alright? Today, I wanted to, kind of celebrate Mega Man turning 35, another year closer to middle age for the poor guy. And, I really do feel sorry for him in this state because, given his birthday, I feel like he should have a little bit more than a. I don't even think he's getting a new game. We're just getting a re release of the Battle Network games, which I'm excited to play those. But, I mean, like, we don't really have much else for the poor guy. And, yeah, I think we all know who the fault is on that one. So for today, kind of to like merge some previous topics that I talked about throwing together, I have a Mega Man's 35th anniversary just came up, and Street Fighter 6 is on the way. And I'm pretty excited, well, at least for Street Fighter 6. I don't have much hope for, a new Mega Man game anytime soon, given Capcom being Capcom. So I figured I would just have a little bit of funsies throwing the two together. And I kind of like wanted to turn some of the Street Fighter characters into Robot Masters because I think it has been done before. Like I think there was a fan game or maybe like a mini official game. I don't remember off the top of my head where like Ryu was in it or something. And like I think Morgan from Darkstalkers. It's more like Marvel vs. Capcom kind of style. But I wanted to go ahead and throw my hat in the ring, I guess you could say. So I tried to pick out some of the like relevant characters, some of my favorites. I asked my friend for one. His suggestion was really good. It turned out being pretty cool, I think these are neat. I like them. I think they'd make fun bosses, and I hope you guys think so too. So with that all being said, let's start on the first one. Alright, so for our first Robot Master, and I went ahead and turned Luke from the last character of Street Fighter V and the first character of Street Fighter 6. I went ahead and threw him in here. I figured, he's marketable enough. I figured I could do him on here. Poor choice of words, Jordan. I figured I could draw him on here, put him in the thumbnail, and it'd be more people would click on it. That's what I'm hoping for, at least. But other than that, I did have fun, legitimately coming up with his design and some of his, like, I guess you could call like his moveset or like his unique little skills. So I ended up naming him Marshall Man, mostly just due to his connection to Guile in the military, and I figured the name works out pretty well. I like illiterate names where like starts with first letter. Both parts of the name start with first letter. That's what that means. I like that, so I went ahead and I figured it'd be cool, so I threw him in there as this. For his like attacks and like I guess boss gameplay style, I figured he could be like a really like up close kind of fighter where he wouldn't have like too much range on him, but a lot of his attacks would let him rush in, real close. So like his Sand Blaster, could be like his projectile ranged attack. His Rising Rocket can be used for like a vertical advantage. Same for his Impaler, but horizontally. And since he's not like using like the Street Fighter magic whatever system, and you have to like have it based around science and mechanics, I figured he could have like cannons in his knuckles, which you might see like the little holes in what looks like his boxing glove or boxing gloves, I guess, kind of things. Those like shoot out the, I guess, projectile air or whatever it's supposed to be. And he could have jets in his feet, his chunky little feet, to help him boost him around real quickly. And yes, I made sure to make his hair look stupid and as spaghettified as physically possible because it's only accurate to his model in Street Fighter V. I figured he could have like a grab that leads into his critical art, and that could do a lot of damage to the opponent. That could be like his like super powerful move. Oh, for his background in this one, I try to base it around the boxing ring with all the light shining down on him from like his I think it was in his reveal trailer when he was. I know at least in a lot of the reference art I've seen was him in the boxing ring. So I figured that was kind of like his unique little area, I guess you could say, that I wanted to kind of like put him in. And I guess like since it's a Mega Man boss, Mega Man has to defeat him at some point and get like a weapon from him. I think he could get he could get the Sand Blaster projectile, but I would change it a little bit from how Marshall Man would use it. I would instead change it to be like a slow moving projectile that's close to the ground. So for enemies that say like, close to the ground, obviously, it'd be easier getting them, but it'd be a little slower. So you wouldn't be able to rely on it the same way you would be able to rely on your normal like little lemon buster. Yeah, I think that's all I have for Luke. This is like my test one. This is like the first one I kind of came up with. I want to like test the grounds with, and it really helped me learn a lot about like the Mega Man style, which honestly I really like it because like perfectly simplistic, if that makes any sense, where it's simple enough that you can, it's simple enough where it looks kind of cutesy, but it's also like not too simple where it doesn't look not cool or it looks like really childish. I think it's like a nice mix in between. So like I think it ended up turning out really well. I got to learn a lot about it, like how chunky their arms and legs are, which I guess is good for a series that's supposed to be conveying action in really small sprites. So yeah, that's been Luke as Marshall Man. Alright, for this next one, this was my personal favorite pick that I wanted to pull. We got Dan Hibiki as a Taunt Man, which anyone familiar with his gameplay style should know that it's pretty obvious where his name draws its inspiration from. But yeah, I mean, personally, as someone who's really bad at fighting games, I cannot look at the mechanics to judge a character. I always have to look at like the in-universe, like storytelling and characterization. That's what really attracts me more than anything. So like Dan's one of my favorites because I love silly characters in a setting that's not particularly silly. So getting to see Dan's always a fun time for me, at least. I figured for Dan, he'd be pretty weak starting off, but I figured it'd be fitting for the big funny taunt man to get stronger after every taunt that he performs. So let's say he has more simple ones, like he does his silly little thumbs up, and he'll, get like a basic like power boost, and then he does more and more. He'll get like faster, he'll get more powerful, and eventually he can even do like his ultimate super taunt. And I figured maybe that could lead into like that joke from the Udon comics where he goes like into the Dark Hotto state and like almost kills someone before tripping over a bag. I feel like that'd be funny. For his basic attacks, of course, you can have all of his standard, Shotokan karate affair, like the Godoken for his projectile. Dan Kyukyaku, I think is the name on. I think that one's his Dan Kyukyaku. That was the other Japanese word that I cannot pronounce, Tatsumaki Senpuyaku knockoff. That was too many syllables for 2 words. And of course is a Koryuken, which is just the Shiryuken knockoff as well. So I think those would be like weaker, like you wouldn't get as much range as like, obviously someone better at them would. So he'd probably only go half stage with his Tatsu knockoff, and he probably wouldn't get you too far up in the air with the Koryuken. God, these names are weird. Oh, for this one, you might see some technical difficulties here. I think from this one on, I was having problems with Photoshop during my recording. So my Taunt Man, kept it crashed once. My next one crashed like twice. So the editing might look weird on this one. That's my bad. I don't know what was going on in all honesty. So I just hope and pray that it works in all honesty. That's how I kind of roll with Adobe products. Oh, his background is based on a reference image that I was using for this. I think it's just some kind of like generic kind of like Japanese temple kind of area with the stone wall and big old bushes and all that. Yeah, so for Dan's like fighting style, it would require the player to always be on their toes and like continuously attacking. Because if not, he's just going to go stronger and more powerful the more taunts he's allowed to do. So you have to have that constant pressure on him. Oh, and for this one, for the move that Mega Man would learn, I think it wouldn't be something that Dan normally does. I think I would like to give Mega Man a taunt roll, which is just a quick roll that goes forward that ends in like a short taunt, maybe only a second or two, and then he's back to like a normal state. I like that just because I don't think Mega Man normally has a roll move that like bypasses enemies or anything like that. I think the most he has is his slide attack. So I think this would be, interesting for him to have a different movement mechanic that's not just sliding and, non-damaging. So yeah, that's been the biggest, the funniest, the taunt man himself, Dan Hibiki. I really enjoyed him. His posing, I think, is my favorite out of all of them just because it really shows his personality right there. His flamboyantness. I liked his color scheme too. That's just because I've been drawing a lot more to like pastel pinks recently for some reason. I think it's just because like I rewatched part 5 recently of JoJo, and I was looking at Spice Girl, and Spice Girl's always had one of my favorite abilities, and I love Trish's color scheme a lot, and I think I just get drawn to purple color schemes now, or purple and pink. I like those two a lot. I'm not gay or anything. I just like the funny feminine colors. Alright? I'm not gay. I promise I'm not gay. But yeah, that's been Dan. I guess we can move on to the next one. Alright, now here we have the one suggested by a dear friend of mine. We have Vega, who I fittingly named Beauty Man, given his infatuation with all things beautiful and elegant, like himself and nothing else in the universe. Yeah, so for this design for Beauty Man, I kind of went with, his traditional kind of appearance from Street Fighter to, the shirtless kind of look. I ended up turning his, what you call, I don't know what those pants are called, but I turned his pants into like a full body kind of thing, but I still wanted to keep his like red sash just to diversify his color scheme because I think it looks really nice, and I applied it to his arms, or the forearm kind of area. I think they look good on there. It creates like a nice contrast with his purple suit looking kind of thing. For his hair color, I kind of wanted to go. Well, I know he's been shown being blonde and brunette multiple times, and I like them both equally. I think they both look great on him, but I kind of wanted to kind of mix them together to make it a Vega to rule them all, I guess. So I ended up making him like a dirty blonde, which I think that ended up looking all right. I was a fan of it. I wish they would do that normally so people wouldn't get confused whether Vega is supposed to be blonde or a brunette for the most part. But, that's the least of my concerns with Street Fighter at the moment. Yeah, so in this one, my Photoshop crashed again. It crashed twice, so you might see some funky editing on this one. I hope this doesn't happen too often, but I'll try to mitigate it, and at least I know how to, kind of fix the editing, so if it doesn't look bad, we'll see how it goes. For his weaponry, I wanted to keep with his basic kind of like his claw and his left hand, obviously, and I wanted to give him some like just minor boosters in the feet just to make him jump good. I figured for his attacks, he could have a lot of his movement options like he could in the Street Fighter. So like he obviously jumping around all crazy. I want to be able to stick to walls. I want him to do his Izuna drops, everything, whole 9 yards. I just want Beauty Man to be like the kind of Mega Man Robot Master that just really gets on your nerves because he's got like full screen coverage almost, with a lot of like mobility options, so you can always be moving around, avoiding anything you got to throw at him. It just makes it a real pain in the ass to deal with. Yeah, this one was suggested to me by my boy, who you'll probably see in the comments or something hyping me up because he's the realest one of them all. Oh, and on this one, I tried a new shading method. I kind of got bored with the last one of the basic, just new layer, opacity 50, drawn black. I could change the color scheme, but or the color of the shading, but given that I don't really think about what the lighting is most part, it makes it difficult for me because I would like to try different shading methods, but for this one I tried with hatching, which I've seen a few times, and I really like it. At least when I see it in like manga and all that, and I think I ended up liking it in this one. It turned out alright. I think it just needs some more practice to like refine it so it looks clean and pristine. But then again, this channel is all about growth, in my opinion. It's just me trying to get better at my craft and what I do. I try to base his background for this drawing off of Vega's stage, the kind of like, what was it, cage fighting arena. So I kind of try to work with that and include the background from that where it has like the bar and the lights and all that. I try to include that on here. I think it looks fine. I definitely could have worked on it more, but then again, creating like elegant backgrounds, especially architecture, is not my strong suit in Photoshop. I just don't know the tools for that. So that's something I'll probably start trying to work on that more often when I have the chance for it. All right, and that's Vega as Beauty Man. I really like this one a lot. I got what was it? 2 suggestions. I got one from my boy and one from another boy. The first boy, I don't know if they're comfortable with me saying their names, so I don't want to like dox them or anything. But first boy, he said Vega and Bison. I ended up drawing Vega, and I'm like, that's really good. That's a strong design because Vega, very, very iconic design for the series. So I figured I'd go with it. And then my boy number 2, he suggested his main Dudley, which I do love Dudley. Dudley's great. I ended up drawing him. I didn't really like how my sketch went out. It was very kind of plain and boring, and I thought his like silhouette design was a little too similar to Luke. So I wanted to kind of like back away from that and just kind of diversify a little bit. I'll probably show it up here because I think there's potential for Gentleman, as I named him, which I think that was my favorite name. I didn't even get to use it really. Yeah, I think that's all I've got for Beauty Man the Vega. Yeah, so that's been 3 Street Fighter characters, 1 being marketable, 1 being my favorite, 1 being a friend's favorite, I feel pretty even across the board about it. All turned into Robot Masters for Mega Man. In an attempt to, slow my video roll down with combining 2 ideas into 1, Street Fighter 6 on the way, boom, engagement. Mega Man 35th anniversary, boom, engagement. There we go. But overall, I did, really enjoy the process of getting to analyze the Mega Man art style and, like I said before, learn its strengths and weaknesses and all that. And I felt it was fun. I had a good time making all of them. It was a creative challenge, I will say. So, yeah, I would like to wish Mega Man a happy 35th birthday. And I can't wait to see what comes out of Street Fighter 6 and all the new characters and mechanics that might add to it. I hope to see a new Mega Man game again. I don't know. I would love if they return to the old pixel art style. I think that's the strong suit for Mega Man. That's the look, I think the new games look like Mighty Number 9, which is not good. And I think what was it? Mega Man 10 was the one where it's 16-bit. That one just looks, or no, Mega Man 9 and 10, they were newer, they were 18-bit. And then they had 8. 8 was 16-bit. That was the one with the weird movies in it with the bad voice acting. I think that was the one that was 16-bit, and it looked really weird. And I didn't like that one either, really. But yeah, I hope to, see a new game out of there maybe. Maybe even a new spin-off for this series. Maybe Legends 3. But that's just, a hope, prayer, wish on a star, because it's never going to happen. I'm sorry, Legends fans. I doubt it. I severely doubt it. Which I'm saying as reverse psychology to see if maybe that makes me look silly later because they do it. But I doubt it. I wouldn't cross my fingers. I wouldn't hold my breath. Oh, for my next few videos, I promise I'm going to try to make them a little bit more creative than just X character and Y game as a boss fight. I think I've been relying on that format too much, and I would like to, kind of change it up. I think it's just a lot easier for me to do, with the script and art, while I've got bigger videos I want to work on, which I'm still trying to get done. It's hard finding an equal balance between working on the small stuff, working on the big stuff, and my day job. So that's always making it difficult. And given that I can only really record around closer to nighttime because all the noise in the area, really. Yeah, so for the next one, maybe a Zelda video, I think. It's going to be another simple one where it's just X character, Y style. But after that, I've got I got a couple of TF2 ideas I can do. I'm hoping, I've been playing Fallout New Vegas. I've really been getting into that. I'm having a lot of fun with it. I'm hoping I can beat that sometime soon. I can make some videos about that. I really want to draw my character, see how it looks, see how he looks whenever I'm done with it. I have a fun gimmick for him. I got some other stuff that I want to work, some more anime and manga related stuff that I can do. Like I said, TF2, New Vegas videos. I want to do some with X-Men. I love them. Marvel properties. JoJo's. I got lists. I got receipts. I got videos I want to do. They're gonna get done at some point, I promise. The bigger stuff is just which is really gonna determine what I do, because like I said, the big stuff takes a lot of time and a lot of effort. I've got some of it done. I gotta get the rest of it done, and I'll put it out there. I promise it'll get done. But once again, thank you for watching. Subscribe if you want to. Like if you want to. Bell if you want to. Comment if you have anything to say. If you want to. It's all up to you. Just like life. And with yet another piece of philosophical nonsense, I'm going to be signing off for today. So,